I'm Kelly Vaughn, and welcome to Inside Indy. If you're like me, you're tired of the news reports night after night about crime in Indianapolis, especially the number of homicides, people killing each other on the streets of Indianapolis. But there are some actions being taken by the city of Indianapolis, and here in the studio to kind of help us understand what's happening and beyond is Jeffrey Cottrell. And you are a neighborhood resource coordinator for the Office of Public Health here in Indy. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
They call you the peacemaker.
They do.
Tell us about that. Why is that?
Well, that's a huge title to intake with so much going on in the community. I think we lean more towards the neighborhood resource coordinator because if you provide resources to individuals, they will be able to find some measure of peace because they won't be struggling, trying to figure out what it is that they need to do to survive on a day-to-day basis.
That's a big word, survive. So it's about survival.
It is about survival.
Okay.
And survival, just the basic needs, to be able to feed yourself, to be able to just have the basic needs in life that you need just to survive on an everyday basis that some people may take for granted.
You start off by saying what's going on in the streets. So take us to the streets. Tell us what is going on and what we don't see on the 6 o'clock news.
I think what you don't see on the 6 o'clock news is you see so much violence, but you don't see why that violence is really happening. And what we believe is that we have a lot of emotional people on the streets of Indianapolis. And I believe that they're pouring money into health programs such as mental health and things of that nature. But a lot of kids in the neighborhood, especially the ones that we're looking at, the ones who are at risk, they're emotional. And because they're emotional, that comes out in many forms when you don't know how to deal with that, especially in young black males.
What are they emotional about? What's driving those emotions? What do you see?
It's a lot of things. Not being able to have some of the things that they see their friends having. The educational system, not being able to compete in the classroom because there's so many other students there. The teacher may not have the time to slow down and give him that one-on-one attention that he needs in order to be successful. So that frustration comes back to the neighborhood. And when there's no resources, you look for other ways to provide or to figure out how to make it.
Okay. Yeah, I think sometimes people, those of us who have, don't understand those who don't have, the have-nots, what they might be going through, what they might be feeling, things as simple as food.
Certainly.
And I know how agitated I get if I miss lunch here at the TV station. I can't imagine somebody, a kid, going, all morning without something to eat. Or how society does not understand when you are a member of an oppressed group, what that really means. Like a lot of people will say, well, racism is over with. Well, how would you know? You're not my color.
Absolutely.
Or that, well, things are okay for women now. Well, you're not a woman. And so they may not, they don't even really know what whatever that group is, or whoever that group is, what they're going through.
Well, I think a society as a whole has taken the approach, if it doesn't affect me, then I don't want to have anything to do with it. But however, it does affect you in some form, be it your tax dollars, hopefully it doesn't happen, be in some form of crime, whatever the case may be, but it will have some form of effect on you. So we must get away from that notion that if it doesn't affect me, then I don't want to have anything to do with it.
You mentioned there are resources that
Absolutely.
The city is providing, for instance.
It's not so much as that the resources that the city is providing, but what the city has allowed us to do to go connect with neighborhood resource centers and bring those to the people in the area that they live in. And so we try to bring resources together, community providers who are going to provide the different services that people may need but may not know about or afraid to ask about. And so we try to bridge that gap to allow them or to help them understand that there is help and we're here to provide it for you.
Okay.
Or make the connection more.
So can you give me some examples of those resources and how they all come together?
Well, one of the ways is that we have some community partners that we deal with, and if we have a young person who, let's say for instance, is returning home to our community from a stint of incarceration, he may need some resources but don't know how to get those resources. And so we have connected with people who will allow them to find the different things that they need to start to rebuild their lives.
Okay, okay. So say that kid who has been released, what are some things that he may be exposed to would help him take it, to another level?
One, job readiness.
Okay.
A possibility of him, if there's some child support issues that he may have, connecting him with the right people to be able to get those child support issues taken care of. If he's lacking in education, if we try to help set him up with places that provide an educational opportunity. And the most important thing is that we try to connect with employers who understand that this person has made a mistake in his life, but we don't want to hold it against him. So we will allow him to be employed so he's able to take care of his family or the needs that he must have.
Okay. Now, I understand you have a grant?
We do.
Okay. Tell us about the grant, and can people tap into that?
Well, there's some requirements certainly that must happen in order for you to be able to at least apply for the grant. And one of those things is that you must first be established 501c3. You must first have that establishment. The second thing is that you must already be doing programming in the area that we're looking for. And one of those areas is you must be doing something in the area of dealing with people who have a propensity to have gun charges or deal with some type of gun violence. And so some form of program that deals with those individuals who have a chance to be involved in some form of gun crime. Those are the things that we're looking for when you're applying for the grant.
Okay. Now, how can they apply for it? How do they go about doing that?
You'll be able to go to the city's website on Monday, and there will be a PDF, and you will do all the steps that it says in order for you to apply for the grant. And then from there, there will be a symbol of people within the Office of Public Health and Safety, along with some other entities that will make a decision as to whether you'll be awarded the grant or not.
Okay. Now, what's the deadline on that? Because this may not necessarily air before Monday. So what are the dates what would be the deadline on the application for that?
That I'm unaware about.
Okay.
I'm unsure of the deadline for the application grant.
Okay, but people want to get those in. If you qualify, I mean, what a great opportunity to serve the community. My understanding, one of the organizations applying would be CAGI.
That is correct.
Community Action of Greater Indianapolis. So now, can you tell me how you partner with CAGI?
CAGI applied for a grant, and their program, We Can, was one of the programs that they used for the grant purposes.
Oh, cool.
And they're doing exactly what the grant was require, is reach the target area that we're looking for, and they're doing an excellent job with reaching out to those clients, getting them an opportunity to become a better them.
Okay, awesome. So Community Action of Greater Indianapolis. In fact, they're going to be in the second segment of Inside Indy, and we'll be talking to Val Tate and some other folks she's brought in with her.
Yes.
But I kind of wanted to get to the heart of what they're doing and how it's all coincides with what is happening with the city. And a lot of the things that you talked about men. Mm-hmm. But what about our young women in the community, and what have you seen some of their challenges to be, and how they're able to take advantage of some of the resources that are available in the community?
Again, there are organizations that deal with young lady that if a young lady is referred to us, be it probation, be it IMPD, be it some person in the community, we try to connect those young ladies with resources and programs that will try to meet their needs wherever they're at and to deal with whatever issues they may be facing.
Okay. So is the target strictly here for somebody who's already perhaps committed an offense? Or because I would think you have troubled youth that haven't necessarily committed a crime yet, but they have challenges as well. But is the focus on those that have already committed crimes?
A lot of that focus would be mainly because those are the individuals who have a propensity to reoffend or lose sense of hope sometimes and go back to the old ways of things.
Okay, so you're focusing on them to get them to turn around
Yes.
To turn it around.
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay. So they don't get back out on the street and commit the same crimes. And typically, what age groups are you usually targeting? From ages what to what?
27, 16 to 25 in that area. That's the age group that we're trying to target.
Okay.
They have been the ones who have added to the homicide numbers, and so when we go look at all the individuals that we deal with, most of them are in that age that need the help.
Okay.
Need the help.
Okay. So we've got just about 2 minutes left, but is there a particular story, and without naming names, that sticks in mind, that comes to mind when you think of somebody who was able to tap into those resources and it did change their lives?
We received a referral from IMPD about a young man who was involved with a situation where he wasn't actually the one who pulled the trigger, nor was he there, but because of association, he was linked to that situation. And so we just went in and first got him out, had a conversation with him, asked him was he ready to change his life. And then we provided resources or connecting him with resources that allowed him to get out of that situation, that circumstance, and figure out a better way that would allow him to, be safe, out of prison, and alive.
Okay. All right. Good job. Good job. Well, we appreciate you making peace in our community. And if people want to know about that grant, contact information, is there a phone number? Or...
If you go to the city's website.
In fact, they're calling right now.
That's pretty good.
They want to know.
If you go to the city's website, to the Office of Public Health and Safety, all the information is there, as long as all the information for the contact individuals.
Okay.
And there's 5 of us, and so we will try to reach out to you as quick as possible.
Okay. Jeffrey Cottrell, with the Neighborhood Resource Coordinator for the Office of Public Health. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
On Inside Indy. And when we come back, more from CAGI after this. And we're back here on Inside Indy, and we're talking about helping turn our young children around who are maybe going in the wrong direction. And here to talk about how we make that happen is Val Tate. You are Community Engagement and Learning Development Director for Community Action of Greater Indianapolis.
Yeah, you just said a mouthful.
I know. Say that 3 times. Do you have to write that all out at work? Man, I thought Family Broadcasting Corporation was long, but that's really long. And then joining us is Montez Williams.
Yes, ma'am.
And you are the weekend champions for the 2nd year.
Yes.
Okay, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So when we say the champion of weekend, can you tell us what weekend is?
Yes, sure. So WeCan is a program of the Community Action Greater Indianapolis. Our focus, WeCan stands for We Community Action Neighborhood Network. So our role in the work is to really engage the entire community. And so we have 4 programs that we do that with. One is our Champions program, which Montez is going to be talking about a little bit here too, and how he has benefited from it. Okay. We also have something called We Can Move, which is mobilize our voices for engagement, and that's where we go right into a community boundaries with 500 households and work with those households on the ground. And we also have We Can Chat. That's community having a talk, and so that's where we actually have talk and conversation around violence and decreasing health disparities in one of our 4 zip codes. And then last but not least, we have the Trauma Informed Community Building Institute, where we work with leadership in communities to be more trauma-informed in their community building practices.
Wow, okay, okay.
So our Champions program is working with ages 18 to 26 to be self-reliant and self-sufficient. That is, and also for them to have developed themselves and to support developing the communities that they come from.
Okay, okay. So, Montez, tell us how you became a part of We Can, and how did you become the champion? Twice.
Well, I heard of We Can through a facilitator, Miss Queen, and she was one of our facilitators there, and they had let me know about it, and I was going first. Didn't really know about it because I got my own lawn care business, so I didn't know if I would have time for it. But then I was just like, it was the winter time and it was down, and I got young dudes that I employ, and they was down too. They needed something to do. So what I did, I figured if I get into it, I could basically get into it and learn something, get some resources for my program, for my business throughout the summer, but also bring the young dudes that I had on with me, bring them in the program and let them get some job readiness skills and see actually what they want to do and let them see something different too. So as I got in, they made space and they was able to bring them along with me. So we got in the program basically trying to figure out what really do y'all want to do, and just let everybody get a feel of different areas. And Val was bringing in different facilitators that was helping us be able to see what we wanted to do, whether it was music or if we wanted to go and construct. This is one of them, youth build is actually an internship I got into through Weekend. I got to go there after this. But
You're a busy guy.
yeah, it's a lot going on. But they made it to where it all fit the schedule. So it's not all just compact together. I still got time to where I can be able to go to my programs, and they also help me get there because I still got gas and everything, but they help me be able to get around to all my programs I need to go to and be able to stay in them and continue to learn so I can continue to grow. And everybody else that's still in it, they help us all out.
So you sound like you're quite the entrepreneur. I mean, you're running your own lawn care business.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I got a really big yard.
We
Fact, you
can
might turn the other way when you see.
Nah, we can handle it. We can handle it.
You'll be like, we can't. Program. And not to mention my shrubs, oh gosh, and weeds. Did I mention that? So, no, but, so what made you want to be an entrepreneur? What made you think about running everything as opposed to a lot of people who think about, I just want to work or get a job?
Yeah, I mean, I got a felony, so that kind of crossed me out from just working anywhere. It was already limited when I came out of prison, 2017, so I was already limited on areas. But I already had been, while I was locked up, I was already putting myself on game about entrepreneurship and building a business and all that, reading books on it, and was teaching myself all about it. So when I came home, I could at least have it in my head and get where I wanted to go with it. So I knew I wanted to be a business owner. I just didn't really know what field. It was just always in my head. And when I came home, I had an opportunity. I only had like $120, but I was able to get me a lawnmower and a weed whacker, and that's really what I had only cut grass one time before that. And I knew it was a way to make money, but also I knew I could also help other people make money. It ain't gonna be just because I know I can't do every yard by myself. So it's gonna have to be a team effort. So I knew I was gonna need other people, but I was already inside the neighborhood that I was in. I was already in the community with the young dudes. So my first time ever even going out cutting grass, when I came back, they was used to just see me pulling up. They see me with the lawn care stuff. They like, dang, can we come out with you tomorrow? And I'm like, yeah, if y'all come knock on my door, we can come out tomorrow. And the next day, they was up like 8 o'clock in the morning knocking on my door, talking about they wanted to go out. And ever since then, it was always like I never had to go really look for them. They always just came to me with it. So it was just like my thing is I got to just get these jobs for them and just keep them going because they want to work. They don't mind working. And a lot of people, when you 16, ain't too many places you can really go to. And also that's around your schedule. And you can be in an environment that you want to be around some dudes that's around your neighborhood and y'all making money and you ain't getting locked up or none of that, but you still with your people. So that's what I really wanted to be like. So I kept a lot of young dudes with me. And we just go out, whether we had a car, truck, van, whatever we had, as long as we could move around, I felt like we had money. And as long as we had some lawnmowers, we put it back there and we go out. And I was just using that. It was keeping me out of trouble because I was fresh out. So it was putting money in my pocket too. And I knew anybody that was going to jail, they was going because trying to get some money. You're trying to rob somebody to get some money. You're selling drugs to get some money. Whatever you're doing is to get some money. So I figured if I can find a way alternative to help them get some money, I can stop a lot of them from going to jail and going where I've been at or getting killed trying to get some money. So I figured that it could change a lot of that, and that was really, and it's called the ACE Project, and it stands for a child's environment. So that's what the neighborhood should look like. The community should look like a child's environment. Grass should be cut. It should be looking nice out there where they want to go outside and play, and they ain't got to be caught the hood, and they actually look nice.
Right, and instilling pride,
Yeah.
even in the neighborhood. And by the way, add talk show host to your resume. Just want to point that
Right.
he's going to have my job here in the next segment. Wow, that's pretty fascinating. So you mentioned you had a felony. What happened? And how old are you? Because you.
I'm 22 now.
Okay. So you actually look even younger than that. But what led to the actual felony, and what was going on in your life?
Yeah, I was already being a boys' school, juvenile area. I was already in the system. I was in there. So once you in there, it's hard to get out. So it was just a cycle. Once you on probation or anything, you make one wrong move, you going back. And once you in there, they bring up your history. When I went in there, the reason why I got sent to prison was because of my juvenile history. Like I didn't have none of my adult history. It was all juvenile history that got me even sent to the joint. So with all that happening, it was just like, it wasn't once you get in, ain't no clean slate. Like your first mark is marked against you, and I had more than one. I had plenty of them. So once I got to 18, it just carried over with me. It stayed along with me. So it's something that they don't let go. Even if I get it, well, I still gotta wait. I just got out probation not too long ago, so I still had to wait to even get out probation, even look for expungement or anything. But I had to make it out probation and all that. So, but it was once you in there, it's kind of hard to get out once you on probation, because anything at a young age when you just trying to make some money, you just out there doing whatever you're doing, any involvement with the police or whatever, when you get caught, it's like 2 strikes already, because once you already in the system, and then second, whatever you done did now, that's all go against you too, and you got to deal with all them consequences whenever you get caught. So that's what happened at 18. I was 2 weeks being 18 and got locked up for something, and after being there for 6 months, I did 2.5 years inside the prison. But it was the judge told me, like, I got to send you based off of, because of your history. Like, they basically saying like you a threat.
Right.
So just because of your history or whatever, I gotta send you.
So it sounds like what you're saying is, I'm not a bad person. I'm just was in a bad situation.
Yeah, I was in a bad
and I can't
system.
make money on
Yeah.
resources.
Yeah,
and that if a lot of us who do have jobs were put in the same predicament, we might do the same thing. But there are people who say, "Oh, I would never,"
Yeah, so you got I done had young dudes that was working with me when they was 13, 14, just because they situations, just because they needed some food and inside their house. So it's just like, but who gonna hire a 13, 14-year-old to go out and do anything? So it was young dudes that or even just the younger ones, they probably want young, like 8, 10, they just help me they'll be helping me taking my mowers off of my truck and putting it inside my backyard. I just give them a popsicle or something like that. Just, you feel me, like I appreciate, you feel me, y'all helping me. So every day I pull up, the little dudes was already out there, you feel me, waiting on me. We would put the lawn care up, you feel me, I give them something for helping me out. And it was just way to show me, feel me, I appreciate y'all. And everything, all your movements count. It should get accounted for.
Okay, we may be talking to a young Bill Mays, and the reason I say that, one thing that Bill Mays said, do you know who Bill Mays is?
No.
Probably, he just recently passed away a couple of years, probably the wealthiest African American in the Midwest, and he's worth like $600 million, but he owned a company called Mays Chemical. And the one thing I heard him say when he was speaking one time, he says, "I'm not successful because I'm so smart, but I hire smart people." He said, delegate, delegate, delegate. And that's exactly what you're doing, and then you're allowing other people to prosper through your delegation. You're giving them confidence, you're building them up, and a lot of times those people end up making you a star, so you don't have to work to be a star, you just find good people to help you become a star.
They just need to show them some hope, but also, I try to be an example, because I'm like, I done been there where y'all at, so we all doing this together, so I just give them hope that like it's gonna forever be hard, but it's just, you gotta just keep grinding through it.
Okay. Well, I think he said it all, Val. I don't think we.
I don't need to say a word. You
I
say
love it.
you hire good people.
I'm really impressed with you and what you're doing. Let's talk about CAGI before we go, because we've got just a couple of minutes left. How can people get involved with what you have to offer, and especially what Montez has taken advantage of?
Sure. So the weekend program, where you can always give them a call. My number is 317-833-6945. I'm going to answer. If I don't, leave me a voicemail.
Okay.
You can also reach me via email at vtate-kg.in.org. vtate@kg-in.org. I want to come out and talk to you. We do guerrilla type of recruitment. That means we go door to door. We go talk to people. We go talk to people that might know people. And so call me. Let me know that you're interested and we want to work with you.
Okay. Okay. And if you need somebody to cut your grass,
We can do that.
Montez.
Man for that.
Montez Williams is your man, and his.
And the ACE Project.
Ace Project, Facebook, Ace Williams, Ace Project. Y'all can look us up and we definitely will come out and get y'all together.
Okay, sounds good to me. Val Tate, who is with Community Action of Greater Indianapolis and Montez Williams, the future Bill Mays of Indianapolis. Thanks so much for joining us
Thank you.
on Inside Indy. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kelly Vaughn. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.